Alrighty, guys, welcome to the New Dad Fitness Podcast, where this is our first episode. We like to talk about health, fitness, how to get that, drive back into getting healthy again once you've had a baby, and we'll talk a little bit about mental health as well, because I think that's very important. I think that men don't tend to look after themselves as well as what they should when it comes to post baby things, really. I found that personally myself, it was a little bit hard to sort of get back into the gym and enjoy that sort of thing when, I had my baby. So I had my baby, she's 14 months old now. So I feel like I've got a little bit of back end experience on when she was, when she was born back in the day and whatnot. So, I feel like looking back on that, I've learned a lot, and there's a lot of things that I'd like to help others with. Personally, this is just a personal thing, right? It's nothing. I'm not qualified in any sort of means to be giving out psychological advice or anything like that. Psychological, is that the word we're going for? I think that's the word we're going for, something like that. So hopefully you guys get something out of this. I'd like to talk about your partner, baby, and we're going to talk a lot about fitness and how to get control of your life again, basically, when it comes to health and fitness. Yeah. So today we're going to see how this podcast runs. I like to talk about. I've got a laptop in front of me, so I'm going to try and talk through some of the notes that I've created, a little bit of the script that I've written for this episode. It's going to be very different. I'm not sure how it's all going to go, and hopefully, for the guys who are watching on YouTube and the people who are listening, hopefully, you can get a little bit out of it. All right. So, first episode. Let's get straight into it. Calling this episode "Baby Life Balance: Supporting Your Partner and a Chest Workout for Huge Chesticle Gains." So, topic one. Let's get straight into it. Finding that balance between baby physical health and life. So when the first baby comes along, it can be obviously a huge shock to the system. Sleepless nights, tired partners, and extremely short fuses between both of you. But both, from what I kind of gathered, both sides of the relationship, so the mother and father, mother and mother, both tend to forget how to actually be normal. Like, it's one of the weird things that we found was that we're not actually sort of doing the normal things that we would usually do. So in saying that, though, like, your home life now is so extremely far from normal. It's not funny. So personally, like, when my baby was a freshie, she just come out, I absolutely threw myself into cleaning the house, cooking food, trying to do everything I could to make sure that Miranda's life was as easy as possible and that she didn't have to do anything. And I didn't want to stop, because if I did, then those tired feelings were going to catch up with me, and I would not be able to do my duty as the husband in this house to look after everyone. That was sort of my biggest thing, was that I needed to look after everyone because I was a husband and I didn't push that baby out. It wasn't me who had to put all of that effort into to getting that baby made and getting that baby out. So it was up to me to make sure that I was the one who did everything that was necessary to keep this house going, basically. So it's hard when dads have that burden on themselves. As much as they should be doing everything that they can to try and make sure that the wife and the baby are doing well, right? And getting food made, or even just getting a cup of tea made for them or whatever. But there shouldn't be that expectation on themselves to make sure that they are being the sole person who just has to hold up the household. I think that's kind of unfair, and I don't think that's something that society has put on them. I think it's just Some people are built like that. They just want to make sure that everything is perfect because, you know, this little baby is pretty much perfect. She's coming out, she's perfect, or he is perfect. And, you know, you just need to chill out a little bit, really. So, you know, obviously a little human is that you have to look out for is super daunting for both you and your partner, and it can be extremely overwhelming to start out. One particular point I found extremely helpful was when you get a newborn, you just need to sleep as much as you can. Like when your baby first comes out, if that baby is napping, you should be bloody napping. Like it gets to a point where sleep just gets put on the back end, and you know that one. This one's pretty self-explanatory, really. Is that you know you really should be focusing on your sleep, because as soon as you get tired, you get snappy at your partner, and they get snappy back at you because you're being a dickhead. And hey, look, first swear word. First swear word will come out. There's going to be a lot more than that when in this podcast. So it's going to be hopefully it's not too casual and formal and shit. So oh look, second swear word. Anyway, yeah, it's you know, getting as much sleep as you possibly can to help out your partner is absolutely huge. The second one that I found extremely helpful was, you know, taking as much time off from your actual work job as you physically can. You know, I was super grateful for the fact that I got 4 weeks off from my work. I saved up about 3 weeks of annual leave, and I got 1 week of parental leave, which allowed me to spend a full month at home, just hanging out with my baby, hanging out with my wife, and just having a great time, like having the best time, like, you know, as best of a time as you can when your baby's fresh as, and they are crying and just really want their mum, and don't really want to hang out with the dad because dad doesn't have any boobies, basically. So, you know, I got that full month of just being fully present with my baby and my wife, and it was amazing. It really, I think, created such a great dynamic going into being a father. I really do. So, and number 3 is make sure that you take time out for your bloody self. All right, this was probably one of the biggest ones that really helped me personally. I'm very much I can get through this whole thing by myself. Like, I like my alone time. Yeah, I like to just chill out. I like to have nobody annoy me. And I like to just sit and read shit, watch YouTube videos, you know, even just going out in the gym and just smashing out a workout. So, you know, I guess for both of us, it was a big deal. You know, Miranda didn't get as much, or she didn't really get any, to be completely honest, when it came to alone time, because this baby's so bloody demanding. But you know, I had to get into the gym to make sure that I was still looking after my health as physically possible as I could, right? I needed to make sure that I was healthy so that if Miranda wasn't, I could step in. You know, I tried to step in as much as I could to make sure she didn't get sick. And I don't think she really did, at least not until we went to fucking daycare, which is another podcast episode in itself. But, you know, we didn't really get sick at all, which was fantastic. So, you know, Miranda was always dog shit tired, like fucking always dog shit tired. It was insane. So, you know, for me to stay training and stay physically active made me more productive and more helpful in the house. Like, it was just easier for me to manage myself when I was physically able to get out in the gym and just clear my mind and do a workout. It wasn't even a hard workout. It was just getting there and just getting a pump like that. That was pretty much all it really was. You know, but me staying physically active helped for the rest of the day, helped for the rest of the week, just doing something. So, you know, taking that hour to yourself also made it easier to reset when coming back into the household that was obviously more stressful. Yeah, there was points where, you know, we just have to separate from each other, just to, you know, get our heads around why we were kind of bickering. Yeah. And so, you know, me going out in the gym, spending an hour by myself, just chilling out, doing whatever I could, listening to some music, and just, you know, basically relaxing. Yeah. And number 4, creating time for your partner to relax, right? There was big points in the baby growing up process where Miranda had to just let me go out into the gym, go and, even if she wasn't happy about it, she'd like, fuck off, get into the gym, go do your fucking workout and come back in a better mood. And 9 times out of 10, I would, because bang, had a pre-workout, smashed my biceps, and got those endorphins rushing back in. So I obviously felt better when I walked back into the house that was on edge. Yeah. And that's, for me, that was a huge thing that Miranda did that really helped me. When it came to me helping out Miranda, it was, trying to make her a cup of tea or taking the baby for 20 minutes for a walk down the road whilst whilst she had a bit of a snooze, or she just chilled out on TikToks or whatever, it was, even if that's like running a bath for your partner. I never did that for Miranda because she doesn't really like baths, but it's just taking the responsibility of creating that time for your partner to relax so that they can come back less stressed too, because 2 stressed heads is usually a recipe for disaster. And it makes your whole life a lot easier when both of you have been able to chill out, basically. So, still trying to get a gauge on what I want to talk about when it comes to these podcasts and whatnot, but I've just created some topics that I'd like to talk about, and we're going to shift into topic 2 because it's I've written a fair bit for topic 2 actually. Fucking Jesus. And so, we'll just slowly get through it and sort of, spitball as we're talking now. I kind of just written the script to make sure that I don't go too far off page, because if any of you guys who are listening who actually know me, you know that I can go on massive fucking tangents, right? So, topic number 2 is supporting your partner when the baby just gets a little bit too much. So, this one's actually quite a recent one for me, to be honest. It's so baby is 14 months old, and she can be a fucking nightmare. I've just got to fucking put it out there real quick, is that she can be a fucking nightmare. So, this part of the pod is for the dads who have a 1-year-old or one of those babies that's going through the terrible 2s, which I'm pretty sure mine already is. Where they develop an attitude, and when they scream, when they don't get the things that they fucking want, and who is obnoxious and needy. Let's talk about that. So, you guys obviously have gauged that this is my baby, and I'm going through this at the moment, and she doesn't listen. She doesn't care about me or my personal space. And she sure as shit couldn't care for my fucking clean house. I cleaned my house, right? Try to do something nice. Try to do, household things to make life easier for everyone. Fucking books everywhere. Fucking all the pots and pans just out on the floor. We'll get the herbs from in the pantry. Tip those on the floor. Fuck you. Fuck your clean house. Fuck everybody else, because I'm basically a demon. That's exactly what she says. Not that she can talk, but, she's pretty much like that. Sometimes the devil spawn just gets a little bit too much. So I actually had Miranda ring me the other day, and this is, I don't know if she's really going to agree too much to me talking about this, but she came up to me and she's like, I'm not really enjoying this parenting thing. And like, I flat out agreed with her. I was like, neither am I. I'm really not. Like, it's not... not that I don't get to experience the obnoxious way that this kid goes about things sometimes, but I know that she's just a little baby and she's going to grow out of it and whatnot. But when you're in this part of being a dad, it's fucking difficult to be like, when is this shit ever going to fucking end? Like, are they going to be like this forever? Are they going to be a little shithead forever? Probably not. But also, they might be. You never know. This kid seems like she might be. But anyway, flat out just totally agree with her. And I was like, and Miranda said to me, she's like, oh, I love her so much and she's fucking hilarious, but she's just a tester, and she just pushes buttons. That's how she is as a 1-year-old. And you know, that being our first baby, it's kind of like, well, why are we doing all these things? Why is she doing all these things, and why is she being so full on sometimes? And you know, sometimes it's just looking at what you've done, what you've done to maybe take the baby out of routine. So you know, the day before, we'd just been in the hot springs all day because it was our anniversary, and so we left the baby at daycare while we took out some time for ourselves. And did we feel guilty? Yes. Did we give a shit that she was at daycare? No, because she fucking loves being at daycare and she likes being there rather than being at fucking home. So they do way more fun shit than we do. So when we're at home, so we just read books and play stacky cups, and they get to do all sorts of cool shit. So she gets to play with her friends and all that. So you know, it was something that we did for ourselves to kind of, you know, make sure that we had time to ourselves. Yeah, that's one of the fucking rules that I told you just before. But we picked her up at about 4:30 so that we could go for dinner at 5 o'clock. Yes, you heard that correctly, 5 o'clock. Because we're pensioners and we need to make sure that we get this baby fed and at home in bed by 6 o'clock. Do you reckon she decided to comply with the way that we wanted to go about dinner? No, granted, right? This fucking place that we went for dinner should have had the straps in the high chair. They didn't have any straps. Who the fuck has a high chair that doesn't have any straps in it? Surely that's a fucking OH&S issue. Or they just take them out because they don't want to clean them. Most likely that too. But this kid, my God, up and down, up and down. I thought at one point, she was standing on top of the high chair. It's like an IKEA high chair, right? And it's sturdy, but you can still shake it. So she's standing on top of the fucking high chair, just shaking it away, having a fantastic time, thinking that it's fantastic that, you know, this high chair is moving and that she could potentially fall out. She don't give a shit. She's just eating little bits of sakanyaki and gnocchi and whatnot, just shaking the shit out of this chair. She don't give a fuck. She's one of those kids. She's basically Satan in a smaller, whiter package. she craves. I crave chaos. I crave it. She's all about, you know, just creating as much sort of havoc as she can in a short period of time, and then we're all stressed out and, you know, don't get to enjoy the rest of the night. We had a fantastic day at the hot springs, mind you. Like, it was fucking awesome. Ate some food. I had a glass of wine at 11:30 in the morning. That was unreal. But you know, it's the whole point of this conversation is that, you know, this baby, we took her out of her her routine for the week, for the day, right? Usually, bang, straight home. We get dinner ready, bath, boobies, bed. That's the triple B's, yeah? Is bath, boobies, bed. If I had a B word for dinner, we'll call it bedinner, bath, boobies, and bed, the 4 B's, right? You know, granted, she'd been up since fucking 5 o'clock, all right? So she had a bit of a shit one in the morning. And so that obviously threw her routine out as well. She was usually has been getting up around 5:30 and then back down for another nap at about 9 o'clock. So she did that at daycare, but she only had 2 1-hour naps at daycare. So she was in at about, you know, 9:30 and then had another one at about 2 o'clock. So, you know, I'll be the first to admit that it probably wasn't the best idea to take my baby to dinner at 5 o'clock at night when she'd been at daycare being stimulated all day. But you know, you have to kind of accept those things sometimes and be like, well, we wanted to celebrate our anniversary because it was 4 years of us being married, and it's, you know, you got to take time out for yourself. You got to be able to do that as a family. You know, the only way she's ever going to learn how to be a proper baby, not a proper baby. The only way she's ever going to learn how to be you know, learn to behave well is if you take them out into those situations, you know, and you teach them the way to behave properly. she just really wanted me to just chase her around the restaurant. Luckily, there was only one other couple actually. There was only one other couple who had two, who also had two kids that was just laughing at us the whole time. But they had their iPads out and were keeping the kids entertained that way so that they could have dinner. But this kid, she's not a huge TV sort of kid, so it's hard to distract when you can't utilize an iPad or a phone or anything like that. But we tried that. She looked at Elmo for a little bit, but just obviously needed to go home and go to bed. We got home we were finished eating by quarter to 6. We'd had her bath and in bed at like 6:15. So half an hour. Like it was from leaving the restaurant to getting home. So, she was obviously super tired, and we kind of just pushed that limit a little bit too much. And that's obviously what you get. You get a bit of a kid that's just a little bit crazy when it comes to that sort of thing. So, yeah, is what it is. But, these are the sort of things that we deal with on the daily when it comes to our babies. And just fucking dropped my microphone. Of course it did, because it's going to fall off here. Hopefully this doesn't sound too shit. So, it's the sort of things that you're gonna have to deal with, and I know that you guys are gonna have to deal with it too. Like new dads, you're gonna get to when these kids are 1, all right, and you're gonna have to deal with them screaming and hitting and yelling for absolutely no reason. Like my household's definitely not a yelling household. Like Miranda and I never raise our voice at each other unless it's we're laughing at each other or carrying on or whatever. But I don't get why this baby wants to yell at me all the fucking time and why she wants to hit me. I never hit Miranda unless it's on the butt. But then frankly I like to avoid conflict because it's just not for me. And so it's really super interesting that my baby's a screamer because I have no idea where she learned it from. But you guys are gonna have to deal with this sort of thing, and if I can give you a little bit of insight into how my thought pattern went to help you guys to figure out why your baby's being a little bit of a turd when they're out is hopefully I can help you guys out with that. So to bring it full circle and actually back to the actual topic, I want to explain why you should be supporting your partner. I've learned a whole lot and learnt to accept my wife's feelings, as well as obviously other people, and try to talk it out with them, right? It's not easy for you to just speak and then go and then not listen to what they're saying, because they could have some really valid points that you're not accepting. And if you feel the same way, even though it feels wrong, let them know that they aren't alone, and that the way that they feel is okay, and that you're on their side. So Miranda rings me up and she goes, I'm really not enjoying this parenting thing. And for me to turn around and go to her, oh well, that's not good, when clearly I'm feeling exactly the same fucking way, is you're just making it extra hard for your partner and their feelings. They could be feeling like a fucking terrible person, and then the fact that you go, hey, I feel the same way, would make all the difference and make them feel absolutely fantastic. Yeah, well, it wouldn't make them feel fantastic, but to make them feel better at the fact that you feel the same way. Talk about your options and discuss what it was that you guys did differently to create a bit of a shitty baby, and what you did to throw off their behavior. Like Zoe's routine is pretty damn rigid when it comes to her day-to-day life. Like, as I said, wakes up at around, well, she's been waking up fucking 5:30, but between 5:30 and 7 o'clock. And she's usually back down for another nap at around 11 o'clock. We're trying to transition into one nap at the moment. Sometimes she doesn't really get that far. She can have one nap or two naps, and then it's, food and all that sort of stuff in between. And then she's dinner, bath, boobies, and bed, at around 5:30 to 6:30. Yeah. So, if she gets thrown out of her routine, then we obviously have to deal with a angry toddler the following day or later in the day, So, if you're finding that your baby isn't as difficult as what your partner says, then maybe you need to assess if you're spending more time, if you're spending enough time with your baby to actually understand how your how your partner feels, to, you know, get the full version of this little bugger. So, you know, it could potentially sometimes, you know, you're not spending enough time, and your baby comes and sees you and is all happy and go lucky and all that sort of stuff, but really you haven't spent enough time to experience how this baby is. Yeah, if that kind of makes sense. Like, you know, sometimes, you know, I'll work 4 days, or I'll work 3 days at my job, and I'll find that, oh, Miranda will send me a message, be like, oh, this baby's a fucking nightmare. But no, she's not. She's fucking fantastic. Like, I love her. I come home, Dada, you're the best, sweet as. Let's have a bit of a cuddle, play around for a little bit, and then bang, she's off to bed. Oh fuck, that was easy. Don't worry about it. You know, that baby's fine. No sweat. Well, clearly you haven't spent fucking 12 hours with that child, and she's been a bit of a demon. So, you know, you gotta accept that you know, sometimes it's hard to be a mother who stays home with the baby 12 hours straight, pretty much. So, you know, try to take the baby off your partner's hands, and take them out for a walk, or, you know, take them down to Bunnings or something like that. And, you know, you actually, you wouldn't believe how much it, or how, what's it called, how much it helps when it comes to, you know, making your partner less stressed. So that's pretty much it for that one. We do have topic 3 coming up, which is an upper body workout program to increase chest size. So the whole premise of what I want to go through with these podcasts is to try and give you some practical, application when it comes to, you know, your day-to-day life with your baby and your wife, or your baby and your partner. But obviously, you know, I'd like for you guys to take something away from it too and implement it straight away, because, you know, these sorts of little things are going to be hard to, you can implement them straight away, right? But it's, you know, it's going to take some time to fully reap the rewards. Yeah. And sort of, you know, it's going to practice after practice after practice to try and make sure that, you know, you're helping out with the baby, or, you know, doing the best that you can to support your partner. So topic 3 is something you can just take yourself, and apply it straight into a workout and get some massive chesticles, basically. So this is upper body workout program to increase chest size. So we need to focus on hitting the chest multiple times per week to increase overall volume placed on the chest, right? So we're trying to throw in as much, you know, as many chest exercises as we can without overtraining the chest and getting diminishing returns. So frequency and volume will allow your muscles to adapt and grow. Ideally hitting the chest around 4 to 6 times per week at around 22 to 26 sets per week, which will cause some serious growth, right? So ideally hitting the chest 4 to 6 times per week. So that means hitting the chest with 1 to 3 exercises per workout. So in this current program, there's there's only 2 exercises for you to do. So, you know, you could get your 6 times in per week split over 3 workouts, right? And then you can fill that in with some lat work, some arm work, some upper back work. Remember, you need to make sure that you train your back instead of just your chest, or else your chest will not fucking grow, okay? You look like a hunchback of fucking Notre Dame if you do. Anyway, so I'll put this program in the notes so that you guys can see what the breakdown is. But an example upper body program that you can implement straight away is, the first set is going to be chest flies with a cable. Yeah, 3 sets, 12 to 15 reps at a 1 to 2 reps in reserve. So reps in reserve is how many reps you've got left until you have no reps left, right? So it's like, I'm going to take a 1 to 2 RAR, means a 1 to 2 till failure, to complete failure. So just say I hit a 30 kilo chest fly with cables, and I hit that for 13 reps at a 1 RAR. That means I would have got to 14th rep and then I would have attempted a 15th and failed and not been able to get anywhere near it. Right. So, making sure that you're training. This is hard shit. Yeah, this is fucking really hard shit. So first exercise was chest flies, 3 sets, 12 to 15 reps, 1 to 2 RIR. Next, we're going into a lat pull down, 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps, 2 RIR. Number 3 is an incline dumbbell bench press. One slightly higher than the 45 degrees. So you'll notice on your bench, you can, at the gym, you can lift it up to the first one. It's about 45 degrees and then go up one just a little bit more. So we're going to hit a little bit more front delt, a little bit top chest. And that's 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps at a 2 RIR. Exercise number 4 is a seated overhead Arnold press. So your shoulders are going to be pretty fatigued from this, from the incline dumbbell bench press. So this is going to be a pretty difficult exercise. 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps, 2 RIR as well. Seated lateral dumbbell raise, 3 sets, 15 to 20 reps. So you're really going for an insane pump with this one, and really trying to burn those shoulders out as much as you can at a 1 RIR. And then we're going to go into a tricep push down, which you can choose your choice of attachment. It does not really matter what you choose. Personally, I'm a big fan of the ropes that aren't connected. So if you just get like a kickback rope, so it's just a single rope. It basically looks like a normal rope for a tricep push down, but it's just cut in half with 2 carabiners on each side, right? So that you can get further extension and get that arm a little bit lower than what you, a little bit more extended than what you would. It's a little bit more ergonomically friendly. You're going to do 2 sets of this, 12 to 15 reps with a 0 to 1 RIR. So really basically just taking it to complete failure. Yeah. So, you're doing a 40 kilo push down in the triceps. You hit 12 reps, so you hit 14 reps in the first set with a 1 RIR. You could have hit that 15th and it, could have gone to 0. The next set, you do 12 reps at a 0 R to R RIR, a 0 RIR, so that you can really, your arms are going to fucking fall off at the end. Basically, that's sort of the go that we're going for when it comes to the 0 RIR, just making sure that you are absolutely destroying those arms as hard as you possibly can. Right. I'm going to organize some chest programs, actual upper body day programs. So, if you're interested, send me a message and we'll try and work something out so that you can blow up your chest. But, potentially down the road, if this new dad fitness podcast takes over and takes over the world, we'll be doing some pretty cool stuff. So I'm excited to see what will happen. Guys, that's pretty much the end of the new dad fitness podcast episode number bloody 1. Can't believe that I actually kind of bit the bullet and had a bit of a crack at it, because I've been thinking about it for a while. I've been thinking about doing a podcast for, about a year or so, when I had my cousin, he said that I should jump in and have a bit of a chat and talk some shit. And then, that didn't really happen, only just based on location for both of us. It was a little bit harder, but, it's hopefully we can interview some non-famous people. I don't think that, interviewing people who are famous and who do all that sort of Instagram shit is relatable, I guess. Doing that Instagram shit. Fucking hell. I do that fucking Instagram shit. My God. But, I'd love to, I've already spoken to him about it, but I'd love to interview my cousin and be like, hey man, you got 3 kids, you run a business, you're a tradie, you normal. Let's have a bit of a chat as to how, you feel about being a dad to 3 kids and supporting your partner, so hopefully that's some things. He's also fucking hilarious. So it'll be an interesting podcast. Maybe we'll have a couple of beers and see how that goes. Interesting. We'll even do a workout. We could do that too. But yeah, that's pretty much it from me, guys. Hopefully you guys have learnt a fair bit. I hope you have. And that's the end of episode 1 of the New Dad Fitness Podcast. If you guys you've enjoyed this, and you're listening to it on Apple or Spotify, drop me a follow on Spotify, and give me a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, because apparently that's a thing. I have no idea how this whole podcast thing works just yet. So if you give me a 5-star rating and review, then I think that's good. I don't know. Oh, and if you guys are watching on the YouTubes, follow me. As in what Che Durana says. Follow me, you fucking idiots. God, I watch too many fucking TikToks. I watch way too many fucking TikToks. Anyway, we are babbling on now. And that's pretty much it from me, guys. I hope you have a fantastic, fantastic week. And I'll speak to you all next time. All right. See ya. Bye.